starting from where I normally do, end of October. Grill's still here because we still don't have full water. We have water that has particulates in it, so we're basically just using it for flushing. So since we can't do dishes, we're sticking with the grill. And so I actually did get some things done yesterday, so traces of that action are all over the place. But these guys, these ginormous piles, will be dealt with hopefully in 2 weeks. We have something called a tool library here, and we checked out a wood chipper, and so we're going to ship up some wood. But since we're getting to the end of the season, there's not much left to look at, and some of what's left to look at is really sad. Try and be fast. Greenhouse is currently housing citrus. I think I've had something die under my greenhouse that smells a little bit like a dead thing, and there's no reason for that to be the case because it's just plants. So, but yeah, and storm displaced a lot of animals, and I have a lot of brush in my yard. I really want those to be tended. So we have had an explosion in the rat population, which is super fun. Yeah, I'm probably gonna dump that out soon. I don't know that I'll even get a sweet potato out of it, but we'll see. I'm trying to decide if I want to try and overwinter a pepper or two. So that one, Ash County pimento, did good for me. Eggplants, I don't think are ever gonna get to eggplant. Those are kind of the last things I have in a tray. It's French lilacs that I bought at a Master Gardener, and then I sale, and then I divided it. Got a couple more. Gonna try and plant those up front. And those are figs that came off of my split fig tree. Asparagus bed. I'm gonna take down this PVC at some point because I was using it to cover when I had things in there and trying to do greens and things throughout the winter. I know I'm not going to be doing that anytime soon, but this bed in particular is just given over to asparagus. So some of the yard debris. Let's try starting with leaf mold, which is wonderful, and I always wish I had more. I have a lot right now, but I just don't have time to bag up things. Looks like I have some strawberry plants trying to make strawberries there. Don't know if that pawpaw's alive. I'm gonna go with maybe not because it stopped making leaves a long time ago. Service berry doesn't look the best, but she's okay. Our dahlia here, a little raggedy, but as I mentioned in the front yard video, we haven't had rain in a month. We're now almost exactly a month from Helene coming through and dumping like 3 months of water in one night. But so yeah, since we did not have rain, and we didn't have running water for a while, and now the running water that we do have, which is wonderful, we can flush toilets, grateful for it, make no mistake. But yeah, I haven't been able to water the garden. That hasn't been a thing. It wasn't even a possibility for a while because I needed my rain barrels for flushing water. Those are the fun things about being human that we just can't avoid, you know? But anyway, back to that. So I'm able to use it now, but I just don't have the time. Well, come get down the other way. But I did finally make some time yesterday to work in the garden a little bit. A mustard patch here that volunteered itself. I have a couple of beans. Oh, somebody sampled them for me. Oh, there's a big boy. Goodness. But yeah, my little bean plant, you can see, is pretty much done. Birds knocked it over. Once these things are down, they really don't come back up. I did have a couple of my saffron crocuses bloom. So I got a couple little strands of saffron. I've got, you see, a lot more plants, but I haven't had very many blooms yet. So we'll see how that goes. Nasturtiums popping up somehow. Oh, and I have a cucumber. I'll come back and get it. So yeah, mostly just letting this stuff ride. I do feel like I need to cut some things down and just clear out, because I did the project I finally got to work on yesterday was, oh, I hate to see it, new growth right when it's the end of the season, that I had a lot of compost that was waiting to be distributed. So black jewel raspberry, hardy kiwi there, and the other hardy kiwi has gotten pretty much obliterated. You see the rhubarb died way back. I imagine we're gonna have like a whole rhubarb alley here next season. But so, oh, someone dug up a carrot. A couple of big carrots in there. Oh. So I have had a bunch of compost. It's not totally finished, so I just dug trenches. Somebody came behind me and dug in a little bit, and essentially buried it. I do have a couple of little things I'd put in to try and transition into fall before the storm, but I think we know the story there. They're way behind, to say the least. That's a carrot I should probably take out of the ground. But there are a few things, like these didn't get squished by the tree, so we have gotten several crops of shishito peppers, although I think now that it's gotten cooler, it doesn't like that as much. But it has been a very prolific plant, so if we hadn't had the storm and all that, like these are wonderfully prolific. Pretty low maintenance, they don't get huge. The poblanos do, and generally they are wonderfully prolific as well. And have been, they just got interrupted mostly where they were. Silver slicer cucumber there, which you see is pretty much done. And then I went ahead and I had, well, like 2 trayfuls more of baby plants, and I just can't let them go even when they're dead. I had some that I did, but these guys I just went ahead and put in that's lobelia right there. It's blooming. It's a parsley. These are the few cauliflower that made it through the storm, didn't get trampled on. That's an artichoke. We'll see. Lavender. A couple of mustard. Lots of celery. Which celery likes a lot of water, so that's all that's going to do. I can see that the squirrels have already been in here digging around, but I put in some carrots, and these were carrots I put in like last week, so we shall see what they do. And there's my fig, and I had a whole wheelbarrow full of some pine that I separated out from the other brush before all the leaves started falling and the needles started falling, and it turned over last night. Of course it did. There's my other hardy kiwi that's all tangled up in that, but we got our fence fixed, so had to be done. And I think it'll probably recover. I'm gonna have to cut it way down at the base, and yeah, they're supposed to grow fast, and maybe with all the other brush gone, they will. And grow back in and meet up with the other one. It's my pawpaw. Berry back there that was looking great, and she's definitely starting to look a little sad. Here is my pink lady apple, and she's trying to put on new leaves. My Honeycrisp doesn't look as healthy. Raspberries pretty much done. Blueberries been done, but they put on a little bit of new growth too. Weirdly enough. So you can sort of see all that tender growth there. But that's, I guess, good news for next year. And raspberries are still producing a little bit in the front. The odd one back here. That's kind of amazing. But just to show you, and there's the peach tree. And there's the mountain of brush that we're gonna have to try and figure out when we get that chipper. But we're gonna have a wood chipper for a week, and hopefully that means we're gonna have tons of mulch for the front yard and the backyard, and that will be turning something that has been awful into something useful. The end.